You're listening to For Real Radio with Bria, Julia, Kayla, and Michael on WHITradio.org, the sound of Hudson County Schools of Technology in North Bergen, New Jersey. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special segment of WHIT Radio called The Final Word. The Final Word. I apologize. Okay, so this is a special segment. We're going to focus on numerous things in the news, things of a political nature. Sometimes we'll throw in a couple sports things. We're just testing it out. But today, what's really making headlines is, as everyone knows, President Obama has been going to different places in the Middle East, different countries, and right now he's in Jordan. But yesterday and on Wednesday he was in Israel, and this is breaking news. Before he departed from Israel, the Prime Minister apologized to Turkish leaders over a flotilla raid. So I'll give you the information on that. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu phoned Turkish Prime Minister reception Erdogan on Friday to apologize for a 2010 Israeli commando raid on a Gaza-bound flotilla that killed several Turkish activists, the Israeli and Turkish government confirmed. Netanyahu made the call during an airport meeting. The U.S. President Barack Obama, before he departed Israel after his first visit to the Jewish state since taking office in 2009. He apologized for what happened and acknowledged operational mistakes. And Erdogan accepted the apology of the raid on the Gaza-bound Mavi Marama flotilla ship, a vessel transporting aid to Gazans and intent on breaking an Israeli sea blockade. So this is important, guys. Okay, let me explain to you to this. So there was this big raid in 2010 where a ship was attacked. A Turkish ship was attacked by Israel. And after this, Israel and Turkey have been feuding. They were not speaking. They were not communicating with each other. They've had a tenuous relationship ever since. Obama visits Israel. Obviously talks some sense into Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he apologizes. He calls up Erdogan, the Prime Minister, called up Erdogan of Turkey and apologized. And whether this was a show or not, it is a further step that was taken than not actually communicating at all. So this is a big deal.
Turkey is one of our greatest allies in the Mideast, and the United States wants to do everything it can to fortify the connection between Turkey and Israel. So at least this is a first step.
Right. This is very important because Israel is a great ally too, and if we can have both on speaking terms, then there's no problem, and no one gets caught in any crossfire.
Did you hear about shots being fired in the vicinity of Barack Obama yesterday?
Yeah, I did hear about that. I didn't get any information. It was just shots heard.
Yeah, just shots heard. Yeah. But it's a little alarming.
Yeah, it is.
That could happen. But so far, Michael, what do you think of the Mideast trip so far? Do you think it's been successful? Right. He's actually said Palestine also needs to have its own state and be recognized.
Right. No, I do think it has been successful thus far, in the sense that we're just reassuring our allies that we are on their side and we're strengthening those bonds. Obviously, this was the first time Obama has been to Israel since first running, and I think it's important that when he gets over there, he always justifies and says how much of an ally we are to them, when the Prime Minister comes here and when the President comes here. But I think it is very important to see the President in their home country, and that just gives them this sense of security. Yeah. So I think he's definitely been successful in that.
Netanyahu came here, I believe, the beginning of the year, or early last year, at the end of last year, and said, listen, we want to go to war against Iran. Right. we want a preemptive attack. They're going to. It's not when. It's not if. It's when they're going to attack us.
Right.
And he was really pressuring Obama to, initiate an offensive. That didn't go through.
Right.
But that's where they're at, Israel.
Right, and Obama and Netanyahu have not always had the best relationship.
Yes.
But a lot of people haven't had the best relationship with Netanyahu. He's a tough guy, and he's a bit hawkish.
Mm-hmm.
No, but what I also think this trip over to Israel specifically, is it prioritizes. It really, Obama and the Prime Minister sit down, and they're able to, put what should be on top of their lists. When Obama first arrived, Netanyahu was speaking to him about allegations that Syria had chemical weapons and and that they were very concerned and that something should be done immediately, which is always how Netanyahu approaches the situation. He's a kind of cut once, think, But and Obama went over there and he said, okay, these are allegations. We haven't seen these chemical weapons. We will keep an eye out. But what I think is the greater concern should be Iran's nuclear project. So what Obama does is he goes over there and he's able to, just help prioritize what should be their top concern and what shouldn't be. And
the United States is actually playing a role as a modifier. They're trying to not exacerbate anything and somehow dampen the tensions that exist in that region. Right. And they've been successful so far, but it's on a razor's edge. This whole Middle East is like on an edge, razor's edge, and can explode at any time. Even look at Syria; they're at the verge of a total collapse, and every country basically in the Mideast has issues and problems, and Israel is actually alone in the Mideast. They really do not have any strong allies. And the only strong ally they have is us.
Right, and that's I'd say that's the strongest ally they can have, and right. I think it's important for them every once in a while to see the president in their home, and hear him reassure how strong of an ally we are. So I think that was very important. So beyond, and as I said, Obama is in Jordan today. He's speaking to the king, and
another one of our allies, supposedly.
Right. We'll get more information on that after it happens. But North Korea has been making, again, quite a splash.
A lot of noise.
They sent out this propaganda video, and it showed these crosshairs focused on the White House, and this simulated disaster in Washington. It showed the Capitol building being blown up and the White House being blown up.
What do you think they did that for?
Obviously they like attention. Obviously this Kim Jong-un likes attention. He's dying for it, and he's certainly going to get it this way. But what I think he's making a huge mistake here, and not just with the U.S., but I think he needs to worry about China. Which has been a sleeping tiger for a long time. He really needs to watch who he's messing with, because it doesn't usually happen. China's always kind of made excuses for North Korea's behavior, but they're fed up.
Do you know how impoverished that nation is, North Korea? 1 out of 2 people goes to bed hungry every night.
Oh, yeah.
It is an impoverished nation. For him to go on like this and put all his money and resources into militaristic, whatever he's doing with his military, should go in other areas like feeding your people.
Yeah, well, I think we all wish he would think that way, but and the same thing with his father too. Except I wasn't as worried about his father. I always thought of his father as, a lot of hot air. He used to talk a lot, and he used to boast about his this nuclear project. But he's nuts.
Wants to make a mark.
He wants to make a mark, and
Yeah.
and
He's 28. He's young. He wants to make his mark. So you're very right. We have to worry about him.
we definitely have to worry about him. And the U.S. Claimed it was a drill, but responded by flying a B-52 over a South Korean base just to reassure South Korea that we are there to help them if anything happens, and we mean business. Now, they did claim this was just routine, but it does seem pretty coincidental. So it doesn't seem like the U.S. is playing around.
No, this is serious, especially when videos like the Capitol with a crosshair over it reached the light of day on YouTube.
Right. That's alarming.
Yeah.
That is very alarming. Let's see, what else do we have here? In the news, well, we have Obama, this constant bipartisan turmoil in the House, and regarding his pollution and global warming plan, and
the gun law,
and the gun law. Yeah, that's another thing I'd like to speak about. Harry Reid, who holds the majority leader in the Senate, has refused to bring an assault weapons ban to the floor because he says it's impossible that it would pass. Obviously, senators like Dianne Feinstein are not happy about this, and neither am I. I was always, I always felt Harry Reid was a good guy. He never sold out, but he disappointed me severely regarding this. I feel like he did sell out, and he says it would get filibustered anyway if he would have brought it to the Senate. But this stems back to a problem that bill that was introduced a few months ago that would change the regulations and the rules regarding the filibuster, which he also refused to bring to the Senate. So I don't know what he's doing. Harry's selling out.
They're blocking Obama in every path possible. They're not giving him any leeway here, and it does not look good for a significant and substantial gun law to be passed.
No.
It just does not look good.
No.
And I don't know how many more of these calamities and tragedies have to take place before the Republican Party realizes that they say guns don't kill. Well, people kill, but they wouldn't be able to kill without those guns.
Exactly.
So it's a two-way street.
No, I absolutely agree, and it's just very disappointing that it seems like the Republicans were able to get someone on the inside in the Democratic Party, this being Harry Reid, and it's very alarming. It really does. It breaks my heart. I had so much faith in this guy, and he's and it's not like he's of a small position. He's the majority leader of the Senate, and if he doesn't, but what he says goes. And if they have control of his strings, if he's now the puppet of the Republican Party, we're going to see big problems. So I say, Harry, get your act together, grow a pair. Come back. All right?
All right, Michael.
That's the last word.
All right.
I think that does it for today. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. We will be back.
All right.
You just listened to For Real Radio on WHITRadios.org.
At Hudson County Schools of Technology.
Northburg and New Jersey, have a great day.